Hey there, welcome to Travel Adventures. Big Sky Country, the last best place. Montana sounds like paradise, right? So why does it have one of the slowest population growth rates in America? Why are young people fleeing faster than you can say, grizzly bear? Today, we're diving into the harsh realities that make Montana one of the toughest places to build a life in modern America. Let's start with the elephant in the room, or should I say, the empty room. Montana is huge, the fourth largest state, but has fewer people than Rhode Island. We're talking about 147,000 square miles with just over 1 million residents. To put this in perspective, if you live in Kalispell and need specialized medical care, the nearest major hospital might be 350 miles away in Billings. Need to catch a flight somewhere? Hope you budgeted for that 4-hour drive to the airport, and that's if the weather cooperates. This isn't just inconvenient, it's life-altering. Imagine being a young professional trying to network, or a parent seeking educational opportunities for your kids. In Montana, your neighbors might literally be an hour away. But surely the cost of living is low, right? Wrong. Here's where Montana gets really brutal. Thanks to an influx of wealthy out-of-state buyers and limited housing stock, home prices have skyrocketed. The median home price has jumped over 30% in recent years, but wages? They're still among the lowest in the nation. Montana consistently ranks in the bottom 10 states for average salary, but now you're paying California prices for housing in some areas. Bozeman's median home price hit $850,000 in 2023. Let that sink in, you're paying nearly $1 million to live somewhere with limited job opportunities. And those jobs, they're largely seasonal tourism, agriculture, or resource extraction. If you're in tech, finance, or most professional services, good luck. The brain drain is real. Montana's brightest often leave for college and never return because there's simply nowhere to use their skills. Then there's the weather. Montana doesn't just have winter, winter has Montana. We're talking about temperatures that can hit -60 degrees Fahrenheit, with wind chills that make stepping outside genuinely dangerous. Some areas see snow from October through May. But it's not just the cold, it's the psychological impact. Seasonal affective disorder rates in Montana are significantly higher than the national average. When you combine brutal winters with social isolation, you get a mental health crisis. Montana has one of the highest suicide rates in the country, and experts point to isolation and economic stress as major factors. The phrase cabin fever was practically invented for places like Montana. When your nearest neighbor is miles away and you're snowed in for days at a time, the mental toll is real. Want to work remotely? Think again. Large swaths of Montana have spotty or non-existent cell service and internet connectivity. In 2024, when remote work could theoretically make location irrelevant, Montana's infrastructure keeps it stuck in the past. Healthcare is another nightmare. Montana has a severe shortage of doctors and specialists. Mental health services, even worse. If you have a medical emergency in rural Montana, you might be looking at a helicopter ride to Denver, if weather permits. And let's talk about education. While Montana has some good schools, the funding is often inconsistent, and opportunities for advanced coursework or extracurriculars are limited in smaller communities. Parents often feel they have to choose between Montana's lifestyle and their children's futures. Montana is also experiencing a massive cultural shift that's creating tension. Wealthy transplants from California, New York, and Seattle are moving in, driving up costs and changing the character of communities. Longtime residents feel priced out of their own hometowns. This creates a unique form of resentment. You're dealing with gentrification in one of America's most rural states. The Montana that attracted people is disappearing, replaced by something that's neither authentically rural nor functionally urban. For young, diverse, or progressive individuals, Montana can feel particularly isolating. The state's demographics skew older, whiter, and more conservative than national averages. If you don't fit the traditional mold, finding your community can be incredibly challenging. Look, Montana is undeniably beautiful. If you're independently wealthy, love the outdoors, and can handle isolation, it might be paradise. But for the average American trying to build a career, raise a family, or simply afford a decent life, Montana presents almost insurmountable challenges. The state's population trends tell the story. People aren't avoiding Montana because they hate mountains and clean air. They're leaving because modern life requires infrastructure, opportunity, and community that Montana increasingly can't provide. Montana might be the last best place for some, but for most Americans, it's become the last practical place to build a life. And until these fundamental issues are addressed, Big Sky Country will continue to see more people in the rearview mirror than moving in.